Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sell More Book Show, episode 572. I'm Brian Cohen from Best Page Forward, joined by steamy hockey romance author Kelsie Ray. Kelsie, I'm glad you're here. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Good,
We're
good.
great.
We're doing it. We can just pretend life doesn't exist and there aren't a million to-dos waiting on the other side of this. We're just here to help authors.
Yeah.
It's a good happy
We're
place. It's a good happy place to be.
Exactly.
You talked about last episode that and I've talked to a couple authors who do this, the ebook, paperback, and audiobook already on day one, so that authors who love the audio don't have to wait, so that it's kind of a big blast of a launch, so that you can really focus in on that one product in totality. How did you get to this point? Because obviously 99.999% of authors do not release the audiobook on the same day when they are self-published. So how did you come around to this way of being?
I tried it.
You said last episode, try it. You're a try it person.
Try it and you'll see what works. And I was blown away. And I if I had my numbers in front of me, I would share them. It was, I talked about how I like my numbers, and
Yeah.
it took, I kept noticing, okay, it takes X amount of time for me to pay off my audiobook. And I decided to release at the same time. It was like my 20th book, maybe even my 25th book. So it was like
Yeah.
a while later that I
Yeah.
finally decided to release it at the same time. And I paid it off within, like, I don't even want to say like 10% of the time. Like, if it would have taken me 6 months, it was within the first 2 weeks. And
Huh.
that was where I was like, oh, so that's why we make a big deal out of going through all the effort of finding your narrators and making sure that it's uploaded, in time to release at the same time as your ebook and everything, is because that push of um that you, I think, organically get from release week, from
Yeah.
your, loyal readers. It just keeps that momentum going, and it definitely spreads into those other formats.
So it's like launch buzz, certainly on your own store, launch buzz on Amazon, launch buzz on any other platforms. All of that launch buzz combined with the audiobook simply being available, with some people conceivably getting the ebook and the audiobook at the same time, whereas they might not have done that if it wasn't available already. That all combined led to basically paying it off 10 times faster.
Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. That's really cool. I mean, once you tried it, how long do you feel like it took you with your production schedule to get able to replicate it a second time and
Yeah.
third time?
Yeah, it really helps when you use lesser known narrators, because they have a little
Yeah.
bit more availability and flexibility.
Yeah.
That was a big one. I will say, it was actually third book in my Delamy series that there was a miscommunication, and it did release. I want to say it was a week and a half later,
Yeah.
and I will say you could see it immediately. The drop was
Oh.
there, and so again, I look at the numbers and I'm like, okay, what did I learn from that? I would rather push back an ebook release than release the ebook before releasing, without releasing the audiobook at the same time.
That's super helpful. That's super helpful. Thank you for sharing that inside scoop on that. We really appreciate that. Awesome. So we had a question of the week a couple weeks ago, which was, what are some of the most inspired creative book marketing ideas that have worked for you? I may ask you this one in a second too, Kelsie. So start thinking about it. Amy Martinson said, I've had the opportunity to auction a character name at various fundraisers. Not only do you get to share your books with a large group of people and make some new friends, but you also get a great name for a character. It's a hoot. I've seen similarly people doing the naming a character through Kickstarter and through crowdfunding methods, but that's fun. That to have it at an actual auction, that sounds like a cool one, Amy. So Kelsie, you're a try it person. What's something you tried that you were like, that was out of the box, but it kind of worked?
but it worked. I also did that, usually in my Facebook group. I would do that a lot. Another one, and this is on my Patreon, so it's a little bit different,
Yeah.
uh, but I am a big believer in the sharing the creative process, essentially, and that
Mm,
really helps kind of build that loyalty. So
yeah.
all the time I am asking, help me name a character, or uh I'm trying to think of an example. Help me name a dog, or okay, this character
Oh.
needs a pet. What kind of pet should we do? And all of that, and they eat it up. They absolutely love it. And then I get emails back after they've read it, and they're like, "You used my idea." You know what I mean? And that's just kind of uh, a little bit more of building the loyalty side, versus cold traffic to get for your books,
Yeah.
reader. But that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's not cold, it's warm. It's
Yeah,
literally you're warming that relationship. So that's amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that too.
you're welcome.
You can, folks, you can answer the question of the week at the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group. Please do it. Let's go into the top story of today. Are you ready, Kelsie?
I am so ready.
Awesome. Short and loud. Spotify Audiobooks has launched yet another new publishing program, this time specifically for self published authors. Quote, on Thursday, Spotify announced the launch of a new publishing program for authors, which allows them to submit short form stories they'd like to see turned into audiobooks, reports Sarah Perez for TechCrunch. Spotify said it's specifically looking for stories across three genres: romance, mystery, or thriller, and sci fi or fantasy. That seems like more than three genres, but whatever. And Spotify is actively encouraging authors to submit cross genre works such as romantasy, dark romance thrillers, mystery sci fi, or psychological thrillers. Spotify will handle all production and distribution to other major audiobook retailers and will pay authors both advances and royalties, although payment details haven't been discussed. The program is eligible to authors with English language short form stories who have the audio rights to their books. The program is seeking stories of novelette length, approximately 10 to 20,000 words. Genres, at least for now, are limited to, they said limited, but there's a million of them. But no erotica or children's books. Submissions will be chosen on a rolling basis. So, Kelsie, Spotify, maybe on and off there were some negatives in the past year where authors weren't so happy with some of the things they did. Now this is specifically to self-publish, but almost done in like a contest style here, without necessarily there being an entry fee, but it's very contest style. Submit your short-ish book and we might make it into an audiobook. What are your thoughts on hearing about this program?
Oh, I think it's again, I'm a try it and see what happens. So yeah,
Right?
submit. If you get the option for someone to um push, and most likely they're going to push it because it's a new program that they're rolling out. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's great free publicity. So yeah, I'm a big try it. Keeping something to 10 to 20,000 words though for me would be close to impossible. But if
Right.
you're able to write something short like that, yeah, I think it's great.
The first thing that comes to mind for me is, what if authors submitted their lead magnets to Shopify? Because a lot of authors have lead magnets that are closer to that novelette length. I know I personally even just like, oh, I haven't written fiction in 8 years, but I do have a lead magnet that is 12,000 words. It's like, well, that sort of thing would
Yeah.
be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's great. And again, if Spotify wants to push your work for free and handle all of it, 100%. Yep, go figure it out.
Love it. Love it. So definitely y'all think about trying this one out. Kelsie, I'm gonna slightly twist this question to you once again.
I'm ready.
Um, so you're a person who likes to try new things, but you don't want to try new things and skip the things you need to do or that you have to do. So what's kind of the balance between, oh, I'm gonna go write a 12,000 word story for Spotify, when like, oh, but I need to finish book 2 in my series that has a pre-order deadline. Like, how do you kind of balance try new things versus finish the things that you already started?
So thankfully, this is a blessing of mine. This is a talent of mine. I am a very focused person, and so
Uh-huh.
when I decide to do something, I'm going all in and I'm doing it. Um, I think a lot of it has to do with your bandwidth and
Yeah.
how much time do you have? Are you twiddling your thumbs? Are you looking for another project? When I first started, I was a little bit more of a yes girl, and I was invited to uh, to participate in certain, what's the word I'm trying to think? Book
Projects,
boxes, and you know what I mean?
anthologies. Yeah,
Yeah, and I did it and I tried it and I learned that made me no money. And
yeah.
so is there is there a potential for monetary gains because I am doing this for money? Uh I love doing it as well, but you kind of have to figure out, are you doing this as a passion project? And do you need that outlet for a passion project? Are you doing it because you need money and you're like, Spotify might be willing to push this if I do it? So you kind of have to just look at what your goals, does it align with your goal, and where's your bandwidth at that time?
Love it. Love it. Great answer. You've got a question here for me.
I do. I have to make sure it's the right one. What has been your most successful style
Oh,
of
it's the one earlier.
Oh, do you think okay, ready? Do you think Spotify's focus on shorter work for audiobooks will carry over to success for shorter works in general?
So this one reminded me. And we've been on the air for 11 years, just about. Original host Jim Kukroll. He always thought, shorter is going to come in style at some point because attention spans getting shorter, et cetera, et cetera. It still hasn't fully happened. Yes. Is there a craving for short form content? Absolutely. Kelsie, you with your 300,000 TikTok followers, obviously proof of that. But also, books tend to still be at certain lengths for certain genres.
Yeah.
And so, could there be an appetite for shorter, half hour, 1 hour audiobooks? Maybe. I mean, I see that on the children's side a lot, but I also see, buy this compilation of 10 of those kind of things all together. So if you're going to do shorter works, I think shorter is fine, but you should always consider, can I later take these shorter things and make them into a longer thing? Because it's easier to make money on longer things.
Yes, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, now we're going into the lightning round. You were excited for this. So, we'll do another lightning sound and you can copy yourself or do something completely different. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, I think we'll stick with the original.
Okay.
Do I need to do it
You
again?
do. We're too lazy to go back and find it
Perfect. I'm
again.
here for it. So, like I said before, this is lightning, not thunder, but the lightning would be zing.
I love it. I love it. I love it. A real zinger. So, Kelsie, what has been your most successful style of social media content?
So, I think I kind of mentioned this in the last episode, but I am a big believer in kind of not tricking the person, but a little bit where it's, what would you do if you were in this situation kind of thing? Instead of like, oh, I wrote a book, it's really good. These are the tropes. That, especially for people who aren't normally readers, is not going to hook them. They're like, that's
Yeah.
nice, swipe. If you're able to be like, okay, this is a situation, what would you do? I think that that's a lot more hooky.
Mm.
We we love drama and we love gossip as people, and if you can really hook them into a situation where they're like, no, she didn't, then I think that you're going to have a lot more luck with them being like, okay, I haven't read since high school, I'm going to pick it up anyway, I'm just going to try it, and then we get them hooked and they eat up your entire backlist.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I think that people want to feel like they're part of something.
Mhm.
And I think that if there's distance between the author or there's distance between the story, it's harder for them to feel like a part of it.
Yeah, and to really connect for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm giving you the same question to ask to me. So you
Oh,
can go for it.
okay.
It's right in there. It's
Okay.
literally a copy paste. You'll see
Yep,
it
I
there.
gotcha. What has been your most successful style of social media content?
I have tried to avoid it. I have tried to avoid the memes. I have tried to avoid the film myself doing B-roll crap. I have tried. And I failed.
Yeah, you just got to give in. Just give in.
Nobody wants to see me give advice on social media. Nobody. And I give great advice. And when it's a webinar, people are enraptured. When it's social media, it is no likes, no comments, no nothing. And then I do the time lapse or the typey thing, and it's like suddenly views through the wazoo, and it's like, it's frustrating because to me, I think of that content as stupid. Even though I know that it works and it might get authors who follow the podcast or follow nonfiction content to eventually find me and soak up the real wisdom. And so it's a better way to find leads. But it's annoying that it has been the most successful style of social media content. But
Yes.
like you said, I have to give in. And
Yep.
I'm giving in, people. I've given in. Standards are out the window.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, goodness gracious.
Okay,
So,
you're not alone.
yeah, thank you. Thank you. Kelsie, with over 300,000 followers on TikTok, what would you say is the best way to take care of your audience?
For me,
Mhm.
I think asking yourself what you can give them that they can't get anywhere else. And I think especially with like we dabbled in the last episode with AI and that kind of things, having them feel a connection and feeling uh, a little bit more of an insider view of what it's like to write or what it's like to um, be in my shoes when I am working on a project, or like I had mentioned with Patreon as well, giving them opportunities to help be creative in the process. That I think is the best way that I can take care of my audience to the point where they are personally invested, not just in my stories, but in my journey as an author.
I like that. By the way, you're keeping these really good lightning sized. So good work. Good work here. um, you've got a question for me.
I do. If you had 300,000 followers on TikTok, what steps would you take to protect your author business in the future?
So if I've been fortunate enough to coach authors who have hundreds of thousands of followers on various social media platforms, and I always say the same thing. Get them somewhere you can control. Get them to an email list. Get them to a Shopify store. Get them so that if the platform went away tomorrow, you could still reach them. What does that look like? Well, yes, have things in your bio. Absolutely. But it's okay to reach out to people and say, hey, did you know I have this free story? Go download it here. All you have to do is give me your email. It's okay to do that on a regular basis. It's like, well, I already did that last year. It's like, well, you've gotten so many followers since then. You've got to get them to come to you. And I know it's not easy. And I know that it might feel like nothing. It's like, oh, well, I have 100,000, but only 10 people joined my list from the last time I did it. Keep doing it. Keep getting those 10 person by person, hand sell if you have to. Get them over to you. There's automation tools for this kind of thing on places like Instagram and Facebook. But get as many people to join your list so that you can reach them forever, because we've already found out TikTok may not be forever and other places may not be forever. But if you have their email list, as long as they're subscribed to you, you can reach them. And I highly, highly recommend you do everything you can to make those kind of connections.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm sure you've been working on that yourself there, Kelsie.
Yeah. Speaking of TikTok going away, I'm like, yep, that's what he said.
Yeah. Awesome. This is kind of a future thinking question, but I'm very interested to hear, as someone who has kind of their finger on the pulse with this, is how do you think TikTok and other short form content will change in the next few years?
I'm about to disappoint you.
Oh, I'm so excited to be disappointed.
Well, good. I have no idea. Uh,
Oh,
no idea. I think that this business in general, it changes quickly, and the successful authors are the ones who are able to adapt and who are able to pivot quickly and who are able to try new things, throw them at the wall, and see what sticks. And so I think it's okay to not know. It's really just being open to anything and trying it and seeing if it's, sometimes you can wait a little bit. You don't want to be so scatterbrained that you're doing everything at once because that's obviously not going to get you anywhere. So be very deliberate with each of your choices and each of uh, your decisions to test something out.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, so no, I don't have an answer, but I didn't have an answer for TikTok. Like I had no intention of putting my face on all of my videos. That was not something I wanted to do. But when the opportunity arose and I was like, okay, let's test it. And oh, this is working. We're going to keep doing this.
yeah.
I'm sure something else will come along. So that's a boring answer. I don't know, but
I think, well, I don't think so. I think that it is being open to having to change,
yeah,
knowing that change is going to happen is kind of a good thing to accept going forward.
yeah. Because as soon as you get comfortable, that's when,
Oh,
it all
yeah.
blows up when you have to start over
Oh, yeah. Of
or pivot.
course.
Maybe not start over.
Yeah.
But
No, yeah. I mean, I've kind of been talking with a coach lately about how just like what you did to get to this point, there's a lot of identity kind of rooted in that, but that doesn't mean it's going to be your identity in 6 months. I mean, you have to be open to the idea that what you did wasn't the best version of your author business.
yeah.
So,
Or for the current, I don't want to say climate because that probably sounds bad, but I
the
did
yeah.
Facebook ads for a long time, and then one day it's like they blew up, and it was like, cool, cool, cool. So that's not an option anymore. What are we gonna do now? And and you have to, yeah, you got to figure it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. No, that's really helpful. Awesome. So we need another question here,
No,
and I know, I'm sorry. Um, we've talked about different styles of social media. We talked about kind of the same day and date audiobook, which I'd be interested in what people had to say. We talked about this Spotify short thing. We talked about trying out new things versus finishing the thing you've already committed to. So there's a whole bunch of things we could talk about.
yeah.
Is there any one thing that you're like, well, that would be interesting?
Um. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I think it would be interesting to hear how
No, keep
how
going.
quickly someone is willing to abandon a a current I'm trying to think of the right word. How quickly someone is willing to abandon a
Current strategy.
yeah, there we go, strategy.
Yeah.
That was the word I was looking for. Thank you. Before kind
Yeah.
of trying something new.
I love this. Something new. I'll put an and why on it. How quickly are you willing to abandon a current strategy before trying something new, and why? Love this question. You can answer. You got to it. You did it. I know it was a tough one, but you did good job here. Uh, you can answer the question of the week over at the Sell More Book Show After Party Facebook group or at sellmorebookshow.com. You should go see a Shopify store that is wonderful and constantly being tested at shopauthorkelseyray.com. And if you're going with kind of what I suggested of, oh, let's learn from the people, go buy a book, see what the shipping process is like. Go support Kelsie for sharing so much good info today, which we very much appreciate. I'm really glad you were able to come today.
Me too. Speaking of
Yeah,
trying new things, let's jump on a
exactly.
podcast. It's great.
Come on, yay, good, awesome. They're not all like this, but we'll you could always come back to this one sometime if you wanted. But
There you go.
awesome. Well, thank you again, Kelsie. It's been a blast, folks. We're gonna have another co-host. We've been rotating like crazy and having lots of fun. People, we'll have a new co-host here next week. So until then, For Kelsie, I'm Brian. Have a great week of book selling, everybody, and we'll be back for episode 573. Bye.
Bye.